We're taking a look today at two Pinots from New Zealand, both from the Canterbury area, both made by the same person, same vintage. They both have the approach taken of wild fermentation. In other words, the grapes are left out around about 30-35 days back in the vineyard to absorb the natural yeasts surrounding the vines themselves. I'm particularly curious to see these together because of the fact that it's made by the same person. There's so many similarities to how these wines came together, but undoubtedly some significant differences as well. So, Forager and Greystone. In terms of altitude, the Forager is about 100 meters above sea level. The Greystone's double that, 210. They have the descriptions I got from Greystone in terms of the soil is that it's predominantly clay on top of limestone. So there's very, very good drainage, and it's the highest spiny point of the actual vineyard. The data I managed to track down on Forager seems to suggest that there's high limestone content, but it's mixed within the clay. So there is something different. You can expect different components in terms of the drainage, which is a very important part of Pinot Noir production. The Pinot Noir grapes really enjoy that struggle and the drainage away from just a whole lot of water around. So I poured this about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to definitely break something today, so I'm going to take these down. These are the two glasses. So the one on my left, your right, is the Forager, and the other one, pointing it to it here in case I've got my lefts and rights wrong, is the Greystone. So I'm not sure if it comes out particularly clearly in the video, but there's no question that there's a deeper colour, a deeper redness to the Forager, and something that's slightly more translucent to the Greystone. No indication really of anything other than it's showing a difference at that juncture. So to have a look at the nose. If I was to describe the noses, it will contrast the noses from between each other. The Foragers come with this round, broad lushness, this feeling of seeping out in this kind of direction, whereas the Greystone is far more this way, north to south. I hope that makes some sort of sense. There's something quite crisp and it suggests that the flavour on the Greystone is going to be more crunchy, crackly, and in other words, more of a Von style of Burgundy, whereas the Forager suggests on the nose that it's going to be a rounder, richer, more sort of soft and unctuous flavour profile. But let's have a taste. Forager first. Relatively fiery at this point, but that's not surprising. It's relatively soon to be tasting these. They're 17s after all. I quite like the cherry. There's a bright, rich cherry component to it that's really quite appealing, and there's a beautiful, soft, cedary component too, which is really great. And I think over the next 6 to 12 months, that's going to fuse even more. Sort of a ripple that flows through the wine. It also suggests that as it ages, it's going to be quite impressive. Hopefully, it retains that weightiness, but without retains the richness without too much weight. Yeah, at this juncture, I would suggest that the Greystone has a beautiful, elegant, eloquent structure and form. It has this kind of poise, which I picked up on the nose, and it's playing through on the palate as well. It's also giving me less fire at this point. There's probably not quite as much length as the Forager, but in terms of a wine that you want to look at now, this one's definitely the more the more finished of the two at this specific point. It's very, very soon in there in the game to be making these kind of rash comments about them. But if I was trying to rate them, I would probably rate the Greystone at this point higher, just in terms of sheer sizzle right now. That's it from me, and both a fantastic job in terms of making these wines. They're really extraordinarily good. We're really just getting down to the smaller box and dice now of the minutiae of the wines. Thanks very much. Cheers.